Alright. I hope you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Does this sound loud enough? Thank you. All right. There's an interesting bug going on here. Just made thousands of automations, it seems. Why? Okay. All right. Welcome to LiveWired. Here's Eugene. And today I'm going to take a deeper look or a closer look on the Cubase 15 that just dropped this week. And I'm an avid Cubase user for about 24 years by now. So this is a DAW of my choice for a very, very long time. Before that, I used the Cool Edit, which then became Adobe Audition. And I also used FL Studio a lot. And every now and then I used Reaper, or for some studio work, for some productions I was working in Studio One, which is also cool. But Cubase is still my number one, because I think if you use software for so long, you just get used to it, and it's really hard to switch to different software. Well, at least I don't have a reason to do that. So I think I've just found a bug, by the way, but this is not the scope of this video. I mean, obviously, we'll probably find something out, but You know, there are tons of reviews where people talk about features, and I think everyone who is a Cubase fan or interested in Cubase knows by now what these features are. So I'm not really interested into listing them all. I just want to make an actual track and see what of these new features or functions or sample packs or sounds I can use for my productions. Now, is there anything that I'm going to use frequently or anytime, or at least from time to time? Might be the case. And this is what I'm gonna find out hopefully today. And if you're interested, you can stay with me and ask your questions. If you want something specific to be reviewed or showed, or if you want me to add something to the project, then just let me know in the chat. Yeah, hit like and subscribe, of course, if you like the channel, if you like what I'm doing. Yeah, let's basically go ahead now and build ourselves a track with the new stuff in Cubase. And by the way, I will be trying to use Steinberg stuff only because we're concentrating on Cubase. And of course, I have various VST instruments from other manufacturers like Arturia, Native Instruments, Toontrack, Bogren Digital, you name it. Also some orchestral libraries and whatnot. A lot of stuff actually. And I do not use Steinberg's internal stuff that much. The exception would be probably the Retrolog with the VST instruments. And I do use occasionally Cubase's internal effects plugins like the EQs, compressors, tape saturations. Although I primarily use FabFilter and Universal Audio, but still the most of the plugins in Cubase are actually cool. And in the last release, I think it was with 14, they added the shimmer reverb, which is very cool, and I do use it a lot. I like it. All right, let's switch to our other camera. Good. So yeah, if you have anything to ask, feel free to write me in the chat. If you want me to show you a feature or a sound or go through some sounds from the new libraries, just let me know. I kind of prepared the session. Well, not really. I just added some tracks with the new stuff. So obviously the new plugin, which is in Helion Sonic, is the Writing Room synth, where they claim that this is kind of your vintagey sounding synth. There are not a lot of presets there, but they sound kind of decent. I guess I will be able to work with them and will not be forced to switch to different external third-party plugins. Right, so yeah, I also made a copy, but I'm afraid I will have to delete this because for whatever reason it copied too much. A little bit about my setup here as well, if you want to know this. If you don't, well, you'll still know. I've got the Steinberg CC 1-to-1 DW controller here, which is made specifically for Cubase, and which I found is really the best controller because it resembles the actual knobs and layouts in Cubase. I had a stream about the Nectar CS controller, which was cool, but I didn't like it that much, so I sent it back to Thomann and bought me a used one. And then you will see this here, and this is, I need to look up the manufacturer, I forgot it. So it's an Active Key. I think it's a German company. I think they were bought by Cherry or Logitech or whatever. So you can still buy these either used or probably new. And the cool thing about this, it's basically a fully customizable keyboard where you can save a button or a combination of buttons to each of the buttons, obviously, and then you can program this in Cubase, which I did. So these are stored hotkeys that are being used in Cubase. Now, the obvious stuff like play and stop and record, of course, I did not really add because it doesn't make sense. I have it here. I have it on my Native Instruments controller. So there's no need for the usual stuff. So I added things that I thought are useful for me, like horizontal zoom. Oh yeah, you can't now see the screen. Let me make it slightly smaller here. Okay. Yeah, so something like horizontal zoom here in the project, or vertical zoom, or also some cutting options like cut everything before the cutting point or after, or crossfade, or hide settings, or which I use a lot, hide plugins. This is like a huge time saver. Render in place with settings, or settings of render in place and normal render in place, quantize settings, drum pad, keyboard editor. Why isn't it actually working here? It's probably not working. Then something like pattern to MIDI, Q-Link, export, some folder settings, create mono audio track, create stereo audio track, create instrument track, create a group track, create a fixed channel track, create a drum track, I guess. This one is my favorite. It's basically copy an existing track with all its settings, like I would like to do with Hypersonic. If I click this, you see, bam, we've got ourselves a second track. And it seems to be working better. Okay. All right, Charles is here. The NPC looking lonely over there. Cubase is the, I'm still trying to figure out my workflow on Cubase. I have it down packed on Studio and One and Bitbig. Yeah, well, Studio One is a great software as well, right? I had to work within a few studio productions back in the day. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. And it was great, so I was able to, enter it and use it quite fast. There's a lot of things that are cool about that, but also something that I do like more about Cubase. Bitwig, I must say, I never tried out. And Ableton Live, I also did not really inspected that well. I know it's a great one for electronic music, but it's just not my cup of tea, I guess. The MPC, on the other hand, yeah. So the MPC is my absolute favorite, of course. I love it to bits. It's my favorite piece of gear, and the Live 3 is a huge upgrade to the most recent, to the last iteration of this product. I think it's absolutely great. But of course, I'm still faster, more efficient in Cubase, and of course, Cubase is much more powerful. You don't need to talk about that. It's your AAA DAW, you know. It's so powerful. Although the Akai is also powerful, especially for a standalone unit. But Cubase is just, yeah, it's just brutal. Okay, so I want to try out, well, first some of the sounds and get a like structure for a track. I was thinking something about like electronica style, maybe something Vangelis Blade Runner, or we'll see what the sounds are giving us that we do have here with our new instrument sets. I'm especially excited about this Cinematic Odyssey. I hope that this will help us as well. All right, and of course I added a drum machine, and this was really a game-changing feature for me for creating instant jams, making tracks really fast. Was this Cubase built-in drum machine, so you don't have to load like plugin. You obviously can, and of course I use like Easy Drummer or Superior Drummer, sometimes Battery, sometimes other stuff, but this is like a built-in into Cubase. It has a powerful editor with a feature that I love a lot, with the randomize feature. You can do so much to it. I won't be going into the detail. We'll probably see what I will be doing with it. And in this new version, they released an additional sound pack, and I found the first sound pack phenomenal, and the volume 2 is kind of cool as well. So I just added something like this here. Just create a random beat. Now this sounds like yeah, your main beat probably. And the cool thing here, I could say, let us duplicate the pattern here. Okay, that did 5 for whatever reason. Okay, good. But here's the pattern number 5, and I want this one to remain basically similar, but I also wanted to have less notes, something like this here eventually. Now let's draw this line here, and it has already the pattern 5. Okay, so there's our intro, just for 4 bars. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and I will duplicate this pattern again, and I will increase the intensity and make me this one. And then I probably will remove some of the stuff I don't want to have there. Maybe it's a little bit too much for an intro tune. So I can go here and decrease the amount of notes here. But I do want to have a kick drum on one. Oopsie. So there's a question if I know how to detect entire song tempo in the song. I'm not sure that this is very precise to do it like this. I rather concentrate on some parts of the song and then let it detect the tempo. I think it's a more reliable way, and then you create your tempo track. And by the way, let's add a tempo track here as well. So we can change the tempo with this tempo track here. So I'm not sure we want to do 120. Maybe we do. Let's just change it to 115 for now. Okay. I am not in love with this sound here. How do I switch it? Alright, here you go. Brass. No. It's not very good. And why is this automation running all the way around? I didn't activate anything. Let me delete this automation. This is something weird. I'm not sure if it's me, but it didn't happen earlier. Yeah, I don't like. Let's look at the pads. It seems like all of the sounds have some kind of vibrato. Why is that? Yeah, all of them. This is really weird. You know what? Let me delete this track and create a new one. Maybe it's me, but this would actually surprise me. Or at least it didn't happen before in the previous versions. And by the way, this is not my first project with Cubase 15, and I didn't have this this issue. So it's writing room synths. Okay, adding that, and let's select this. Okay, what's that? Yeah, they sound old school and not very inspiring, but that's okay. Charles, yeah, so if Studio One does it better than Cubase, then kudos to Studio One. I always said Studio One is a great DAW. By the way, I think it was created by former employees of Steinberg. So I think the people know what they're doing there. Pads and leads and keys. Classic draw bars. What's that? Oh yeah. So as of now, I think this sound slightly generic. Okay. Now I wanted to try out this new pattern track feature, wherever that is. It's track versions, expression maps. No. Is it here? Yeah, so we have to switch from MIDI part to pattern event. And now we create a pattern. It already has something there. Why is that? I didn't do anything. But okay. You know, for whatever reason it took different, already an existing track. Why? Now I want to do it melodic. And yeah, all right, now it's melodic. I hope it didn't remove my drums. Check this out. Okay, the drums are still there. That's a good thing. And now I wanna select a key. Maybe let's go with A. And melodic. All right. Now I could go ahead and enter the steps. Let's try this out. Okay. Oh yeah, so because I selected a scale, it didn't record what I wanted to do. But all right, it works, and I think I can also make the pattern size change, and also the octave range. I can also add a chord track from what I see here. I also can randomize. Let's try this out. Does it randomize? I hate this melody, but let's stay in for now. Or like this. Now I want to randomize this. Like, yeah. Interesting. Okay, sounds like a bass line. Now what can we do about this sound here? Okay, so for whatever reason, it's recording my automations all the time. I don't want this to happen. Why does it activate my automations? Let's just remove them. This is really strange. I didn't activate this anywhere. Okay. Okay, now we got ourselves something like a baseline, and I could copy this like 4 times, but on the second time I will again duplicate the pattern. Oh, it has already some patterns built in, like pre-existing, and I want to make a variations of this, or variation of this, and maybe I could decrease this, and okay, so yeah, of course I have to select this pattern here. Okay, so I will rather put this to the beginning because it's more minimalistic. Okay, and what if I want to create another variation of the 7th pattern? I want to select the 7th pattern here, but I want to increase the count of the notes. Okay, like this. Yeah, this is cool. Good. Okay. I have some kind of intro here. Oh yeah, I didn't duplicate this. Oh my god. Okay, so okay, now I'll duplicate this one again and select the pattern number 8, and then I will remove some of these nodes. All right. Okay, this is too early for this crazy pattern, which I do like, but it's still too early. Let's keep it in the baseline first. Okay, now I want also the first drum pattern here. I want to duplicate this one too and select it. Okay, it doesn't duplicate here. You have to duplicate this from here. All right. So there's a weird bug. So if I hit to duplicate the pattern in here, now it works. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, but anyway, okay, let's say the pattern 9, and we want to maybe add some swing here, but also I want to increase the amount of notes playing. No, I want to go nuts like this. Okay. Some machine stuff. Pretty lifeless for now, but it works. So can actually map the cutoff to the mod wheel and not the vibrato. Yeah. No, I need to find out how to remove the vibrato from this. Well, you know what? I can assign the cutoff to a different note. Learn CC, and yeah. Okay, not very inspiring sound. In general, the vintage room synth, it do not really catch me. You have some functionality. You have your, your ADSR, you have the cutoff and resonance and color and vintage modes or settings. So you have some control over the sound, but the core sounds are slightly generic for me. So, but whatever. Let's create some effects tracks, and yeah, I want to stay with the Steinberg infrastructure here. So I have a studio delay and stereo delay. Let's try the studio delay, maybe. Yeah, it's from Steinberg as well. So, and now I want to make it 100%. So they are scalable, they said. Probably not all of them, because this one unfortunately cannot scale with my mouse, at least. Is there a setting here? Interface scaling. Oh yeah, okay. So it's now 0 and I can increase it up to 25%. All right. Okay, sure, why not? So you have to like click the menu here and then increase the size so it's get bigger. I can live with that. Now the output is 0, feedback, spatial, where's the wet? Okay, set it to 100% because I'm using this on my FX channel here. And okay, so which channel was it? Okay, let's add the delay here. Okay, and also let's add some reverb on top of it as well. I mean, I could probably add the reverb from here somewhere. I Let's increase the attack to make it more. I don't like how the attack reacts here. Okay, moving this further away. Okay, let's try to record something. Oh yeah, of course. Have to do it like this. What was that? Some weird sound here. I didn't want to have this. Okay. Okay. I'll start with more cutoff and then increase it as the tracks develops itself. So we have some kind of a lead track right now. And let me add a different instrument here. Oh. And of course I'm adding a Steinberg instrument. In this case I'm adding the retrolog. And it's quite small here on my screen, so I might want to increase this sound as well. Okay. I cannot do this for the retrolog. Maybe I can scale it normally. No. No way. All right, now, hey, where are all my presets? Come on, did you just delete all my presets, Stein? Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, obviously could do it bad myself. Set another oscillator and slightly detune it. Octave, no. If I add a sub. Where's the filter? Where's the LFO here? I don't see it. Let's add some sound effects. Some reverb. I could copy the hi-hats as well. Okay, but the retrolog is not a new sound, of course. Retrolog is pretty old and it's good, but this is not a new thing here. Okay, so let me take a look at this Cinematic Odyssey. I hope we can use this. So it's under loops and samples, and yeah, the grit and grime is new, I think. Future trap as well. That I want that Cinematic Odyssey. Wherever it is, there it is. And we've got a bunch of samples here, including some drum loops even. Let's take a listen to them. I like that. Okay, but there's a melody. What about the synth loop here? Oh, I added it accidentally, but I wanted to preview this actually. Very lo-fi-ish. Okay, let's add this one. Do I have to make a sample? Oh yes, it's just an audio track. Can I make it to a sample here? Or load it to a sampler maybe? Yes, sampler control. Okay, like this. Where's my sampler track now? Okay, and I wanna add this to my sampler track. Why doesn't? Okay, obviously I should mute these tracks here. And this one as well. I'm not sure this is really good. Let's add the shimmer to it. Better. And also add some of the reverb to it as well. Okay, now I want to do that sample swap. How do I do that? I'll just look up in the library. There's this feature called Hot Sample Swap, which is thought for switching samples while, you know, keeping your settings. Hope this will work. Do I need to activate it somehow? to be perfectly honest, I don't really like that sample library. Compared to the stuff you get with, you know, samples for Akai or, you know, just basically synth by Arturia, where you can produce sounds like this with ease, just like with one synth. I do find this not really inspiring or actually good sounding. It might be my system, but it's kind of overdriving, and you have to like add effects to make it sound somewhat usable. I'm not sure about this, to be honest. So let's try this out maybe for now. I want to decrease the attack here. Okay, but I still got another idea for that sample track. Let's use the new pitch shifter. I'm already clipping. Why is that? This is really weird. I'm not really having anything special running here, and it's already like telling me I've got the performance monitor. Indeed, so something is eating up the processor a lot. Okay, let's increase the latency then. This is weird. I'm only using Steinberg internal stuff. Okay. To be honest, this doesn't happen with the most Arturia plugins. With some, it happens pretty fast, yes, but with the stuff that I'm used to work with, it doesn't happen that much. Let me take a look at the chat. If there's something new here. Nope. Okay. See, if I'm doing a stream about Akai, I've got more reactions. But I love Cubase, and I hope this will be useful. So nah. So maybe a short break before I go on and share some of my impressions about the overall sound of the new sounds on the Cubase, be it like samples, loops, or the new writing room synth. I don't think that they sound great. They sound okay, and we can tweak them to sound better than the initial preset sounds. But you really have to do this. So if you're like a beginner, maybe it's a nice exercise, to fiddle around with sound. But for me, when I'm writing a track, or even when I was much younger and didn't have the experience with the synths, the sound design or whatnot, for me it was important to have this sound that would inspire me from the get-go, right? So I'm launching my Cubase session, connecting my keyboard controller, taking my guitar, and I want some sounds to inspire me to make an actual track. And with these sounds that I have here, I'm not very inspired. So the drum sounds are good. They sound a bit very polished, in a way, very processed, but I tend to like that in some scenarios. And generally, drum machine is very cool, but what bothered me a lot is, if I'll go to drum machine, so I got used to the editor here. If I'm working on a song or on a beat on the drum machine, and I want to randomize this was in the upper right corner here, along with a setting for how much of intensity you want to have in your beat. And they, for whatever reason, moved it right here, which is really small. And if you want to adjust this, you have to actually click on this arrow key and then adjust. And as you see, if I click on here, it doesn't open. So I have to open this up, right, in the new window, and then I can see this here. And then okay, so where is it? Why doesn't it click? This is very, I must say, this is really weird. I don't, these are bugs that shouldn't be there, to be honest. So maybe it's just too small and I can't read this, but okay, so these are the settings. It just looks differently. So I have like Bindungen, which is probably some like connections, minimal step length, repetitions, and jumps. What if I do some jumps? Well, it doesn't do anything, right? Isn't it? So randomize, it just randomized something. Okay, this is another interesting thing. I was actually wanting to randomize the drum. So, okay, I'm going, here is the bass line. Okay, I get it. All right, but now I click the drum editor. Oh, so I have to click an actual event, not the track. Okay, and here, okay, so here I have the count of the steps. Why? Okay, let me pull it up and take a look here. So just removes the steps somehow, so it makes it more or less. So yeah, anyway, this setting was in the right upper corner, and this is something that I like to use a lot. And now it's just moved here. Maybe they thought it would be logical because you can actually randomize any of your single tracks, so they move it to adjust to the overall, sound, but to the layout. But okay. Okay, yeah, and back to the sounds. I mean, and this sounds generic, and I already added like effects to it and fiddled around with the sound. Yeah, so I guess if you get this as a package and you do not have any commercial synth available to you, then it's alright. But then again, there are so many great sounding free synth out there that I'm not sure why would they release something like this. This is just my honest opinion. And I do love Cubase, and I buy every single update from them, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm still a fan, and I will be using Cubase. At least I don't see me switching to any DAW full time. But is it just that they want to add something to load the package to make it like, so you feel that, you paid for something, get more? I don't know. The sounds for the drum machine are nice though. So I like this Madman sound. Maybe let's go and listen to some different sounds here. Now go to loops and samples and drum machine 2. Can we prove? Okay. You know what? What if we switch it up? Oh, so I edited it here. Okay, but I still can move the patterns down. Okay, here I would probably want to add some automation, maybe to play around with the cutoff as well. Let's assign this. Where's the learn CC? And okay. And let's write an automation here. Okay. Now we gotta sell some automations here. Now it says cutoff and resonance, but for whatever reason it removed my resonance stuff. Okay. Now my cutoff curve kind of overwritten it. Okay, and I'm just letting the read automation function and don't want to write any automations more to this. Okay, maybe I want to take a look at some other sounds that have been presented. There were quite a few libraries: Laid Back House, Cinematic Odyssey, Future Trap, Main Room, Melodic House, Grit and Grime. I'm not sure that any of this would fit the sound I'm going for here. So Cinematic Odyssey is a rather to be honest, I will probably gonna delete it because it's not worth the space it's taken up. Sorry, but this is what I think. But let me know if you find this sounds amazing. I do not. So Grit and Grime is obviously something for hip hop. Yeah. Obviously nothing we can use here. Nope. What about the Laid Back House? Or let's listen to this. Why are all so distorted? Okay, yeah, something housey, but nothing we can use here. Maybe something with a future trap. No, I thought we already saw future trap, or didn't we? No, we didn't. There's the future trap. I can still enter the use this for the intro before the drum hits in. Like somewhere here. pretty uninspiring too, to be honest.
The truth is that they want us all afraid, hiding from myself, scurrying. Let's see what happens when the tables turn, biding my time, cause I know one day I'm a...
Okay, so the future drop is sounding okay, I guess. You could use something from this if you're into that. And then this main room, melodic house. This could fit the overall melodics. Yeah, so as I said, the shimmer plugin is a great thing. You can use this to spice up basically everything. Let's do some volume automation on this one. So, alright, automation, and let's just go ahead and okay. Oh, god damn it, I'm still writing the automation. So it writes all the parameters you use here, and even switching something on and all that, so it gets really detailed, which can be good, but can also become BITA if you're not cautious. Okay, so yeah, the effect level is also cool, but I didn't want to do that here. Just wanted to, okay, let's stop writing the automation. Yeah, it's just reading now. Good. Okay, let's do something about the bass sound. And again, we'll use some Steinberg plugins for this. Okay, you see, if you add some movement to this, so that sound evolves, somehow they do sound better. Let's add that black valve compressor. Now this is Steinberg's take on the Pultec. Yeah, let's take the rock bass. Maybe we could add something, a bus compressor. Or maybe I should create a mix bus first. So let's hit key-link here. And add a mix bus to this group here, which we'll call mix bus. All right. Maybe give it a different color. And is there something like a glue compressor? Or is it the black valve? So let's put it on. Is there some like mix bus setting or not? Drum bus. No, just a regular compressor. I must say I do use my do miss my plugins that I would regularly take for this stuff, especially the UAD and the Fab filter. VCA compressor. This could be what we need. I got something mix bussy. Okay, where do I decrease the input here? Okay, so this is the input level. Okay, doing some strange gain staging here. This is basically because if I would gain stage the sounds as I usually do, the sound would be too quiet here. Okay, let me see if we have anything new in the chat here. Nope, nothing new in the chat. Okay, so yeah. Oh, so this is not the Steinberg one. Okay, then let's remove it. And they added this volume here and god damn it, what just happened? They added this volume controls on here. I'm not sure why you want to do that. You have this already here on the left side, and for me personally, it's not a very good thing, primarily because I might touch this accidentally and change the value. And this happens to me often enough, or this happened to me often enough like in the future. But to add even more controls, I mean, I get it. You have like your buttons here, and then, you know, you don't have to move far. But I think you also can make the configuration of the track, and you can remove this. So I think they kind of give you this option. Let's see here. You've got your elements, and where's the... Okay, so on the left are the hidden ones. I'm gonna remove the volume right away because I really do not need this. Okay, good. So this is okay. You know, whoever wants this feature can activate it and have it, and whoever doesn't want this feature, just deactivate it. So this is cool, right? I totally don't need it, so that's all right. Okay, so yeah, the sounds, well, you hear the sounds. Maybe it's just me using them in the wrong way. But I mean, I'm the one to use the Cubase here, and the sounds don't inspire me very much. Then yeah, you know. However, still, the drums are cool. Again, the thing with all of these drum expansions, they're very processed, which can be a good thing, which can be a less good thing. But I do like how they sound, and I can totally use them. Yeah, so there's something else I want to try out, and I'm looking at the feature list again. what they have there. So yeah, they got some new modulations, and maybe we could add something like this to our one of our tracks. And what I will do here, I mean, I'm already done a lot to this, but I'll open up the modulation tracks and I will use one of these new modulators. With one of them being, I think there was some like random modulator. Yeah, exactly. So I'll open up the random modulator, and you can also select different algorithms, and you can select the speed of the modulation. Let's keep it slightly lower here. And then I can use a modulation target. So what I will do now is I will go and select the shimmer plugin, and I want to modulate, well, let's say I want to modulate the modulation. Okay, now what you see is happening here. And I also could increase the range of it, or move the range from the beginning to the start. And also parameter of the modulator. Okay, I can set it like this. Now let's listen what it sounds like. Now let's add maybe another one to make it more obvious. And here I can of course set a different setting, like for the intensity of where it's jumping around. Let's decrease. Let's move it to a slightly smaller change. And increase the range in the modulation. Nice. From what I know, this feature was introduced to Bitwig and to Ableton many versions ago, and they added these modulations to Cubase 14, and this is cool. And now they added some more algorithms, and you can even like make more and more. You can, target a lot of options, do crazy stuff with it, and it's of course also easy to overdo, but it depends on how you use it. I think that this is a really cool feature that can help you, to spice up your sound, to get more movement, because especially with plugin sounds like this here, they're slightly generic and pretty static, I would say, but sounds like these can gain more quality, more musical value, if you wish, easier with these kinds of modulators or other effects, because there's no complicated structure of layers of effects from the get-go to get your ear. So you have something more neutral, which is easier to spice up with this extraordinary effects, and they kind of take it better. So let's go further then. Also, see how this fader is moving along. All right. So the modulators is definitely a really cool thing, and this is not a new thing, but they added like, I think 6 or even more modulators. So respect. This is a really cool thing. Oh yeah, the Ultra Shaper. That's what I wanted to test with the drum sound actually. So although this is already processed as hell, we'll process it even further. So the sound shaper from what I've got is kind of a compressor. Oh, what is it called? It's Ultra Shaper, excuse me. So the Ultra Shaper is kind of your compressor with transient designer and clipping and whatnot. And there are a lot of tools like this on the market, both free and commercial. But then Steinberg just gives you the option to use their stuff for free. Well, basically for free. If you buy it, you get all the stuff in the package, right? Let's listen how this sounds then. So let's bypass first. Maybe let's concentrate on a more busier. Yeah, let's concentrate on this. So bypass. Here the snare. Now on bypass. So the snare stands out slightly more. Let's go through the presets and look what they have to offer first before I go into the detail. Drums warm glue, okay. Without. Doesn't do much, it's just cutting off the peak slightly. Maybe I have to increase the input for this. Or dance drums. So it doesn't do any compression at all. I'm very overdoing this. Okay. Let's listen to this in the mix context. The snare pops out much more now. And actually to the point where it bothers me. Okay. Let's fasten up the attack. Okay. So with 0.1 ms, it basically crushes your transient. Let's remove the fuzz. So where's the oh, there's a transient, alright. Do we hear this? So this should actually increase the volume of the transient. Maybe it's the compressor that hits it back, but doesn't do very much from my point of view now. But so now if I remove the compressor, would this still be? No, so basically it's for the whole effect, okay? Okay, the mix. Okay, so kind of on extreme settings you hear the transient disappearing, but you really go all the way up, all the way down to really grasp the difference. And then there's a Q as well, hidden post, and low pass, high pass. Not sure what this is good for. And then the clipping stage, hard clip to soft clip. That's all. Let's turn it off. Okay. So it gives a lot of punch, but also some distortion. Maybe let's not add 100% of it to the mix, but 70. Turn off. Okay. And I think there is one more thing that I would like to check out. And this is the Omnivocal by Yamaha, which kind of got mixed reactions online from what I saw. And I just tried it out really shortly, just very quickly. Didn't get really inside of it. So there it is. Here we go. So you got like your female or male singer. Let's stay with female singer. You can adjust your performance, attack, and air, whatever that is. I will try this out, and you can think when you play. So as of now, it doesn't really sound like a voice, but I guess this is just a starter to help you out to lay out the vocal line. So let's try and record something and then see if we can add some text and listen to how it sounds. Oh yeah, of course I want to record not from here, but well yeah, I will record actually in this 8 or 16 bars or whatever that is. Okay, where's my Omnivocal? All right. It's very high. Okay, let's try out. Okay, now we've got a recording done, and let's listen to what it sounds like. First, let's solo it out and okay, this is probably very high, and this is why it sounds unnatural, but in the beginning it was sounding pretty interesting. By the way, I think I added some effects on this one. Yeah, and I will do actually use this because this is the way you would use it anyway. We won't have any clean vocals there, right? Okay, if you know current AI solutions, like from Sonor, and there's also these voice models from AI, yeah, they sound much better, but they also cost much more. So let's not get very picky about this one, because first it's like in an update it costs $99, 99 euro. And this is still a beta, so I guess it might get better over time. Because, you know, Yamaha is actually known for creating great stuff. So this is maybe like your early taste of the vocal sound. Okay, so now what we have here, we have some notes recorded, and then I could either select a note and then click on text here and write something. I heard. Let's listen to this. Did I misspell the word heard? I heard. Okay, maybe I should let the I on the first word, on the first note, and then go to the heard. Heard. Oh, goddammit, what did I do? I heard. Okay, I heard. And then let's take that. And I'm just doing some random. And then let's put, yeah, singers are obviously will be obsolete very fast. Okay, so this transported the syllable, the second one, to the second note automatically, which can make sense. Or now. Obsolete. Let's remove this terrible. Like this. It's more hopefully realistic. Didn't get my so obsolete here, and there's some like okay. Obsolete. So maybe like this. Okay, let's again enter obsolete for all the marked notes. Will it like part it? Yeah, no. A lot of vibrato. What the hell? Why are you doing this, man? Come on. So okay, it should, or do I have to spread every note for one syllable to make it work? Maybe I do, maybe not. Maybe I have to read the manual. Obsolete. Yeah, so maybe it's a hard word for her to pronounce, or not needed. Maybe like this. Maybe like this, needed. And she didn't end the word. Okay, so, well, I guess there's some room for improvement. Change the format. Interesting. What about straight? Swivel. I mean, you can use it in certain contexts. It's not quite there yet. Well, I mean, it is a beta. What's about the guy in his cool white shirt? What does he sound like? Yeah, okay, I got it. Maybe we should transpose it like an octave down. All right. So, well, it is kind of cool, but they really do need to work on it a little bit. Maybe I should also take more time and read more about how this thing functions. But from what I hear right now, there are much more advanced AI solutions as of today. So let's conclude. If this update is worth it for me, so at first, when let me tell you, I bought it instantly. So as soon as I saw that Cubase 15 came out, I bought it, and there was like even no release notes published. I didn't know what I was buying, but I knew probably gonna get it anyway, because well, I do like or love Cubase and use it for a long time. So for me, it's important that the software manufacturer gets some money so they can go on with it. Of course, I also want to get something back for the money. And my first impression was that you get slightly less this time than with some other updates. This one feels more, or felt more like a half step update. They used to do this, I think 8.5, 9.5 updates, right? And this one doesn't really feel like a new Cubase version. Well, slightly, they changed some things in the interface, you know, they redesigned the hub, which is okay. I like the selection of the audio interface in the hub. This is a cool feature. And also there's another feature like this project preview, what you can have on an NPC, by the way. So you can open your project and then create a preview. So when you have your project list, and if you have hundreds, if not thousands projects as I do, and my naming conventions are sometimes really obscure, like a date or just a random word that, or combinations of letters or whatever. So this can increase your search speed. This is a quality of life improvement, if you ask me. So this one is a cool feature. So overall, the hub. Let me. You can see this in every other video. It's all right. I didn't have any issues with the old hub, But of course, the thing that they added the audio interface selection straight from the hub. This is cool because when you start Cubase and your audio interface is off, or one of your audio interfaces is off, it just says like, oh, they selected an ESG, select an audio interface and stuff, and then it probably will not pop up, but you will be able to select whatever interface you have. So this is good. So they have some minor improvements that are nice. The pitch shifter, I was trying this out on different instrument, is very interesting. I could imagine to use that, for example, on some kind of industrial electronic vocals, to change your pitch. You can split up in left and right and do some interesting things, and there's also drive in it. So this is cool. Not that you don't have this already in every different plugin suite, but now you have this here as well. The Ultra Shaper, not very convinced, to be honest. I just have much better tools, much more powerful tools for this. I don't see me using this a lot. Yeah, the voice, this Yamaha voice beta generator, it's nice try, I would say. It's not there yet. I'm excited what it will be like in the future. As of now, yeah, it's okay, I guess. Well, I mean, you don't have to pay a subscription for an AI service to do that. Okay, so you have kind of vocals, but could you honestly use it in a real production? I guess no way. At least now. All right. The drum or generally the other expansions like these sounds. So first, I think they have better ones already, and on the second hand, on second thought, if I compare this to expansions from MPC or from Native Instruments, they are really nowhere near. I'm sorry. So both the presets, okay, they didn't release any presets for the synth, or maybe they did, but I didn't see that. But if you take any free expansion that come in with Native Instruments machine, for example, for battery, or the stuff that comes in with Akai on board, right? So they are just light years ahead of that. I mean, you can work with this. They are not bad. Don't get me wrong. You can work with this, but there are just better ones. Okay. Very cool feature is this that they made this pattern pattern editor for melody, and you can also switch to monophonic or polyphonic. This is a good thing. This is really something that pushes your songwriting forward. Just creating random ideas that you might not have come up with during your regular playing your keyboard. So this might be a powerful feature. So this one is definitely a fat plus. Also, the sounds, the new sounds for the drum machine are cool. Again, when I think about the expansion from Native Instruments or for Akai, I must say that they at least sound differently. Okay, so they have this sound of your own, this slushy, processed sound. It won't fit everywhere, but you can use it, and they have the sound of their own, if you wish. Yeah, so this is definitely a plus as well. They added some more features with the drum machine editor. For me, a big minus is that they screwed up the layout of the random feature, but all right, I can get used to this. Overall, the drum machine is still great. I still love it. But it's just more of an improvement, right? Not like something groundbreaking and new as it was when they released the actual drum machine in Cubase 14. But then again, still good. Yeah, mixer, I didn't say anything much. Oh yeah, they also have this expression keys or expression maps. This is something interesting for you if you like use orchestral libraries. And you can basically program the case switches like with by a click of a mouse, which can save you some tracks. So this is a cool feature as well. So generally, I do not regret paying €100 for this upgrade. But I also can't say I'm like totally excited for this. However, well, let's put it in a different way. I always ask myself, will when I like testing an instrument or a plugin or a piece of hardware, I ask myself, will I be able to write a new song differently? Will I be able to create something new, to make something in a new way that I didn't approach before, and maybe create a cool song that I will then publish or just would like to listen to? And if this piece of software or hardware gives me that possibility, then I say that it is worth it. Well, of course, depends on the price. When we are talking about something between like, I don't know, 10 and €200, I think that then it's a good thing. So this is a whole other philosophical question about gas and buying more and more stuff. I'm actually trying to reduce my arsenal, to be honest, because sometimes you just have too much. But then again, if a new piece of hardware or software inspires you to create something new and make a new track, then it's worth it. And by the way, let's think about the modulation, the new ones, which are very cool. So from this point of view, for me, as someone who makes music, this is worth it. Because I know that some of the new features that are in there, I will definitely use. Like the modulation, like the pattern editor, probably like this expression, the new expression thing, and even maybe the vocal, this vocalist plugin, just to make sketches. Right, you don't have to make an end production with this, but for a demo, maybe to send a singer to see, like, here's how I imagine how it should sound, and then here you go, and then she or him can listen to that and then sing similarly, and you can keep it as back vocals maybe. So I think I will use this as well, probably. So yeah, in general, for me, it is worth it. Now let me know in the comments, please, what you think about it. Did you purchase it, or are you actually thinking about switching to Cubase at all, or do you say there's nothing for you and you'll skip that and wait for the new update? All right, let's wrap up, and thanks very much for watching, and hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, and have a nice